What is going on, everybody? It's Blue. We're back with another video. This one is going to be specifically for assisting you on climbing on M+. What I did is I took 2 days off work to hit M+ really hard. I know not everybody's available to do that, and a lot of you guys are probably going to be waiting until the weekend to do this. So I wanted to make this video because there is a lot of emotions and a lot of thought that goes into doing this the most efficient ways possible, and I wanted to try to give you guys the heads up before you go into this. So first of all, let's talk about damage, okay? I went very hard in Mythic Plus. We're talking about hours. I did a lot of keys. The very first thing that I was thinking to do is I was thinking to hit IO. I want to push for high-end content, and then when I get stuck at those key levels, I'll just stay there and farm there, right? I wanted to try to get to 16s. What I will say is this is first day hitting at 1,300. It is very possible, and we are 6 in the realm, so you think that's really good. The reason that's really good is because nobody's doing this. This is not what you want to do. You don't want to be pushing IO. So what I would suggest is hitting 10s. Now the reasons you want to hit 10s is 10s are very easy to do, very doable, even from basically your gear at 0. Let's say you're starting the week, you haven't hit any Mythic Plus yet, you're able to get into 10s. I would say if you can do 25 to 30k damage overall, which maybe you can do, maybe not, depends on your gear level and skill level, but you could just jump into these 10s. It's going to require knowledge of like what to CC and whatnot and the mechanics, but you can do that. Now 10 to 14, this is quite a bit of a jump, and what I would say is 392 item level is absolutely huge. This item level here is going to help you, assist you from jumping from these 10s to doing these 15s, easily doable, and then climbing from there. So I would probably say, hey, these 10s are the spot you want to stop at, farm up, get your item level up, and then maybe farm the 15s to 18s again before you do the 20s. That's probably going to be DPS-wise the smartest decision. Now the reason why I say that is Feral Druid, it was very depressing, it was very emotional for me. One, I was farming really crazy, and I wasn't getting gear drops, right? But that wasn't an issue for me because I was farming IO. Like, again, that was a mistake. Now, what I noticed is people started out DPSing me, and I was like, damn, dude, what is going on? I know, like, I'm pretty sure this spec is an amazing, especially this week. This is an amazing week for us. Especially, you know, it's fortified. We have crazy AoE damage. It's raging. We have soothe. A lot of these dungeons are gonna require CC. We have interrupts, we have stuns, we have typhoons, maybe I have vortex, you know, and we have soothe. We have so much. We have the verse buff. We're bringing so much this specific week. This is our best week, and I'm starting to get out DPS by people. And I was like, what is going on, you know? So I end up farming a weapon. That was a huge help, by the way. Got the weapon up. And then that helped, but what I noticed, you guys, is it is extremely dependent on gear, okay? There are huge jumps in DPS with just 10 item levels of gear, okay? Now, for me, again, for me personally, and it may depend on the player and you, around 370 item level, I was doing about 25 to 30k DPS overall, which is perfectly fine, again, for 10s. Okay? Now, obviously, if you have people doing higher, it makes it farmable, right? Now, I saw people, and I don't know how they did this, so this is probably like if their prep on week 1 and 2 probably benefited them. I saw people with 385 item level destroying dungeons, and I was like, what the freak is going on? It's item level. And then once I finally just hit the dungeons hard, brute forced it basically because I wasn't getting any drops, I was able to get to 381 item level, and I saw about a 10k DPS on my overall, and I was like, okay, so the spec isn't bad, I'm not bad, it is very much just gear, okay? So what I would suggest for you guys is farm up your 10s. Don't worry about IO so much, but farm up your 10s so that you have a decent IO that you get invited to the groups, and then farm the 10s for gear, right? Like I said, if you can get to 385, you're probably going to be pushing about 45K overall, and this is absolutely huge, and that is definitely going to help you. You're actually going to be a benefit to the team of completing these 15 and 18. So if you can get to about 385 high level, you are going to be balling. Now, with that said, if you can get 10s on everything, the dungeons that you want to farm, this is Bisque gear, okay? And we're going to talk about Bisque gear on Bloodmallet. But what you want to farm is Court of Stars, not an easy dungeon. It's an easy dungeon if you know what you're doing, if your tank knows what you're doing, if he knows which poles to pull. Some you do not want to pull, and basically what to do, how to get the mini bosses to spawn and whatnot. That can be difficult. So easy dungeon, but requires knowledge. Halls, a little bit tougher on the timer, but these ones, there are 6 pieces of Bisque gear. There are 7 pieces of Bisque gear in halls. So once you get that eye up, this is where you want to be farming in these dungeons to get your Bisque gear. I mean, again, Bisque gear doesn't really matter. You just want to get the item level up, but this is going to benefit you the most, right? So that's what you want to be doing. Now let's go ahead and talk about our Bisque stats. I'm going to go ahead and take my Bloodmallet video down. There was a little bit of misinformation here. What we're going to go ahead and see is the misinformation is about stat distribution. I was informed when you're looking at these, you can say this is single target specifically. This is saying you want 30%. This isn't saying you want 30% crit, okay? What it's saying is of your overall stats, it's going to give you a number. Of that number, you want to put 30% into crit, 20% into haste, and 40% into mastery, right? So that's the misunderstanding that I had. I thought it was saying, oh, you need to hit 30% crit. That's incorrect. Because I was like, oh, well, we already have so much crit started. So that was a misinformation. Now, another thing, unfortunately, about Bloodmallet that I was also informed about is you're going to look here. The stats differ. This is on 5 targets. You're going to see, okay, crit is less valuable, haste is staying the same, and then mastery becomes more valuable, right? They want 50% of your stats to be in mastery. The thing about this, though, you guys, is how they simulated this is a single target build, right? So, unfortunately, this is not valuable to us at all. I will tell you, and of course, nobody's going to want to hear me say this, I will tell you that in dungeons, it was a huge difference going from 7% haste to 10% haste. I went up 3% haste, something like that, just with this item that dropped from, basically my Bisque item that dropped from Court of Stars. This increased my haste by a lot. It's about 425. I think it was like 2 or 3%. This made a huge difference with the how many bite procs that I was seeing. So I went from 7 to 10, I got up to 12%. Haste is really, really important, you guys. Unfortunately, again, we cannot depend on Bloodmallet to give us the right stats. I'm going to tell you guys, haste is, you already know what I say, right? So yeah. Now let's also talk about, if you're farming these 10s and 11s, you're going to get Primal Focus. What is the best way to use your Primal Focus, and what is the best way to use your Sparks of Ingenuity? The best way is to, honestly, if you think you're going to be pushing content, I think 15s and 16s are extremely doable this week, extremely farmable, if you're able to farm a crap ton of dungeons. If you're not able to farm a crap ton of dungeons, do it efficiently. Get another leatherware to join your group so that you can start trading gear. That is going to be the best thing for you. There are times that I'm not getting any gear drops and then I'm getting 2 headpieces and I'm just like, damn, that was a waste. And I could trade that between my person and now my group got stronger because you two run together. The best thing to do, you guys, if you think you're going to be able to push content, do 14s and 15s, again, just get up to 385 item level and you're going to be like set to do it, is to not touch Primal Focus at all, okay? The goal and the thing here is, one, what does Primal Focus do? Primal Focus is going to, you're going to need 10 of these, you combine them, and they're going to eat up 100 of your Primal Chaos, okay? So what we want to do is we want to ignore Primal Infusions, basically Doing this is going to eat up 100 Primal Chaoses, which you're going to need for your gear, by the way. And then you don't need it. If you're pushing 16s, you will eventually work your way towards concentrated Primal Infusion, which is going to be 408 to 418 item level, where this is 395 to 405. You know, again, if you're farming your 10s, you're already almost getting 395. So you don't want to do this. This is basically just one item level up from your 10s. So do not do that, right? It's not worth it. So ignore it, don't click it, it's going to waste your Primal Chaoses. Now, what do you want to do with your Sparks? Basically, 418 item level, what does 418 item level look like? 418 is right here, so it's unobtainable by Mythic Pluses, and it is very end content, okay? So what you want to do is you want to save your Sparks, save your Primal, damn, what are all these things called? Primal Chaoses, and do your weapon, okay? So wait until you can get to 16s, just farm your way up to 385 by doing your 10s to get you to be capable to do 16s. Farm your 16s, and then use your concentrated Primal Infusion to get a BIS weapon. You know, if they can get close to a 418 item level, this is going to be the best thing for you. Now, if you're running Heroics, obviously there is a very good BIS weapon in Heroic as well that drops from Kurog. If that is something you're capable of doing, if you're a Raider, obviously do that first, and whatnot. But let's see, I'm pretty sure that is it. That's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy, everybody. Peace out. Good luck in your dungeons. Good luck with loot.